Good day, everyone. This is Jana Jane Hoffalania, and welcome to the first lesson of Position Paper, which is entitled Features and Purposes of Position Paper. And for our learning objectives, after this lesson, the learners are expected to first, understand the use and purpose of position paper. Second is to identify the feature and structure of a position paper. So, what is a position paper? A position paper is another form of academic writing that is typically written after reading about and having a discussion on a particular issue. Much like other forms of academic writing, a position paper is usually written in formal academic language and has an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. The body is the longest part of the position paper as this contains your gathered evidence in support of your chosen side in an issue. Writing a position paper entails a lot of research and gathering information and evidence, as these details are needed in order for you to make your paper more convincing. So, always remember that a position paper is not simply reporting or of the issue, but actively choosing a side and supporting it, even if it means encountering resistance and opposition. So, what is the purpose of position paper? So, you might think that you'll be doing this as a requirement in class, but there are times when writing a position paper is relevant and useful in various situations. Remember, its general purpose is to generate support for the side or position. In today's society, there are many instances in which generating more support could be useful. Position papers are always tied to a particular issue or event, and more often than not, there are multiple sides to these issues that spark debates and discussion. Writing a position paper for the sides that you have chosen adds your voice in support of that position, and that could lead to even more support from other. For example, during campaign for a preferred politician by writing a position paper supporting your candidate, present your position in support for a particular solution in your neighborhood cleanliness, choosing a product to support in the market through position paper. But like what I've said earlier, writing a position paper involves actively choosing a side and supporting them, so expect that there are some that will be on your side and some will be not. So features of position paper. So, as like what I've mentioned earlier, a position paper, like most other academic paper, also follows the structure of having a introduction, a body, and conclusion. So, what are the important features of a position paper? So, first is the introduction. The introduction of your position paper should accomplish the following. First is introduce the topic or issue. Second, provide background information of the issue to explain its importance. Give and assert your thesis statement, is which is your view or take on the issue. Your introduction should be able to indicate both the topic or issue and your stand on it, which is your thesis statement. It should also be able to bring your readers in and get them interested in what you have to say. An effective way of introducing a topic is by giving it context and providing a background that will put it into perspective. Discuss the area in which your topic fits and then lead into your more specific point of discussion. And here is the example. And for the explanation for that, the introduction starts by stating and explaining the main issue, which is school policy of requiring uniforms. After a short context, it then states the thesis statements and therefore the author's stand. It clearly states that the paper is against the school policy, defining the path of the paper's body will most likely take. And next is the body. The body of your position paper, which should which should most which should be the longest part of your paper, contains your arguments in support to your chosen position. This is also where your evidence supporting your arguments can be found. The body can also contain a section or paragraph talking about counter-arguments where you address the point or points of the position of the opposite side and give counterpoints why you still choose your side. Why you still choose your side and have at least three main points that define your position, that they can be separated and different paragraph. Each paragraph should contain main point, your educated and informed opinion on the issue given this point, and support or proof from the various sources that help defend your point. And last is the conclusion. So the conclusion of your position paper should be brief, and it should most likely contain a restatement of your thesis statement. It should also give a plan of action given your position, but it should not introduce any new information. And here is the example paragraph. The explanation for that is that the concluding paragraph restates the thesis statement from the introduction and then provides a plan of action. In this case, it is either to abolish the school uniform policy or turn it into dress code. While plans are suggested, no new major information is introduced. So let's wrap up. A position paper is a form of academic writing that generates support for a particular side of an issue that had been discussed or read about. A position paper is written to address an issue and defend a particular stand on it. The feature of a position paper are introduction, the body that has the main points and possible counter arguments, and the conclusion. And here are the presenter for this lesson.